Condoleezza Rice was quoted as saying that she was quite sure that in her lifetime, she's pretty sure that she would never see a society in the United States wherein the color barriers would be broken down. And you, if you know who I am, probably don't yet, but you will. I needed to say that Tina Turner, had she been allowed the size and number of venues she was allowed overseas here, without saying a word about civil rights, just by giving concerts and being herself, the way I see it, it's plausible that we, as a nation, could be easily 10 times further along than we are today in terms of people recognizing that people are people regardless of the color of their skin. The music industry wouldn't have it. Film industry wouldn't have it. She was too powerful. So she really wasn't welcome here like she was overseas. Not because the people would not have gone to see her. They would have filled stadiums at least as large as they did overseas. And maybe more. If she'd been allowed to have access to those venues. And if we, the people, had been allowed to have access to go see her. But the music industry here prevented that effectively. I can't help but think that they did not want a black woman with that much power to bring so many chicken white people, or at least chicken white looking people. There's a good deal of dark-skinned blood in me. You would never know to look at me. But people are people.
Tonight, you are invited a primetime television event honoring civil rights legends.
So it's time for the people in power to make a stand. If they want to go down in history, they're not going to do it by withholding the Lifetime Achievement Award from Tina Turner. In the Grammys, they gave one to Whitney Houston when Whitney Houston was a whole lot younger and had been in the business a whole lot less long than Tina Turner. But Whitney, God bless her soul, she did not, as great as she was, and she was great, and she had an amazing voice. No one questions that. She was a talented actor and probably a very amazing person to know. But she still didn't have the draw that Ms. Turner Bach had as Tina Turner on stage. And I think that's one reason Grammy has barred her from getting the Lifetime Achievement Award. That's my personal opinion. It's based on cynicism, but it's based on having lived in this country for a number of years. And Capitol Records, Grammy, whoever runs Grammy, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, whoever runs that. These people, if they want to make a mark in history, they can't turn back time, and they can't give Tina Turner back the period of her life when she was working her butt off on stage and off to create some of the most amazing shows and stage performances on earth. But they could honor her work in retrospect and apologize to her for not having done so much earlier. And if they did that, they'd make a mark in society, on the world. If they did that, they'd go down in the history books. Their names would be mentioned. As it is now, their names will not be mentioned. They will be forgotten. And regardless of what they did to Ms. Turner Bach, they could not stop her from becoming the world queen of rock and roll. Not R&B. Just because she's black doesn't mean she's R&B, rhythm and blues. There's something called the Tina Turner blog, and I thought, oh, that's cool. I've got to get onto that and see who's running this thing, and what this person knows about Tina, and she's gotten into a concert, and I looked at the site and I was astonished. I saw genre of music for Tina Turner, R&B. I'm sorry. It's not that Tina couldn't do R&B. She could. She did some, and she was great at it. She did country, and she was great at it. She sung amazing ballads. She's great at it. But primarily, she was known for her rock and roll music, and for that, she indisputably earned, and from my way of thinking, will very likely not be dethroned in the next 200 years, I would say, at least, in that genre, as a female who has more melanin than the producers at Capitol Records, for the most part. That's what I wanted to say.